This objective is called physical pressure. Now, it's a little different from driving pressure where you wouldn't use touch. This one is all about touch. It's almost like the horse is a computer keyboard. They've taken all the buttons off, and we can place our buttons exactly where we want them to get the desired response on our horse. We have 5 different exercises under this objective of physical pressure. They are turn on the forehand, turn on the haunches, lowering the head, lateral flexion, and backing from the tail. The first exercise that we're going to accomplish is turn on the forehand. Now this one is really going to help us out a lot with our riding. It's kind of a prerequisite to riding a horse. We want to be able to put what we call leg yields on a horse. So if I were sitting on this horse and my legs come down in here, I want to be able to touch 2 different places on this horse's side to get her to either move her back feet over or her front feet over. These are called leg yields once again, and we have to touch in a particular place. Now I teach my horses that if I touch here in this area of the girth with my calf of my leg, that she is to move her front feet over. That's called a turn on the haunches. All right? Now if I move my heel back just about the center of the barrel, this is the barrel of the horse, maybe just forward of the center of the barrel, and I touch here with the heel of my boot, that will move her back legs over. That would be called a turn on the forehand or disengaging the hindquarters. So let's talk about how to do a turn on the forehand first. There are 3 phases of pressure that I use for turn on the forehand or turn on the haunches. They all have to do with your hand. 3 phases of pressure. The first one is a simulation of the heel of a boot. So it's just a fist. It's the flat part of your fingers here. You're just going to touch in lightly. You can think of it as maybe touching the hair of the horse. Touching very lightly, adding your verbal cues. Touching that certain part, that button on that horse. All right? Now if that doesn't work after about 3 seconds, I'm going to roll my knuckles out to a sharper point, and I'm going to add more pressure going down into the skin of the horse, making it less comfortable for her just to stand there. All right, I'm going to hold that for about 3 seconds with verbal cues, with the cluck or the kiss. And then if that doesn't work, I'm going to go to the sharpest point that I can, and I'm going to go down into the muscle of the horse and make it uncomfortable. All right, now I'm going to hold that as long as it takes to be able to get that horse to step over off of my pressure. And then as soon as it happens, just like anything else with horsemanship, I'm going to release that pressure, let her know what she did was right. Now, here's a demonstration of it. We want to have our rope in our left hand. Always drape your rope over your hand. Don't ever coil your rope around your hand. If the horse were to spook right now and run off, this rope would pull around my hand and I would get caught in it. At the very least, it would burn my hand. At the worst, she'll drag me. So instead, we're going to just simply drape the rope over our hand. That way, if she runs, it comes off, okay? So that's the first part. We want to have this rope pulled tight enough to where we can control this horse, keep her from moving away. So here we go. We're going to go to the fist, knuckles, fingertips, fairly low on the barrel, just in the front of the center of the barrel. So fist first. I'm looking for the back feet to move over. Now here comes knuckles. And I wait for those feet to step over properly. The first step that she took wasn't quite lateral. It was kind of more back. So I want to have perfection in my steps. I don't want to settle for anything less than right. And whenever she finally accomplished that, I released pressure. So that's turn on the forehand with physical pressure. Now we're going to talk about the turn on the haunches with physical pressure. As I said earlier, it's still fist, knuckles, fingertips for your pressure, but this time it's going to be in a different location of the horse. If I were riding this horse, I want to put this hand right where the calf of my leg would be, kind of right at the girth line of the horse. All right, I want her front feet to step over and away from me. So the way that we set up for this one is we actually stand and face the horse. We're going to have our rope here. We're going to stand in front of the shoulder. And then we're going to reach back to that place and put our fist here, with our left hand being up here, kind of where we would train for driving pressure for our turn on the haunches. So you're using two forms of pressure as a combination. So here we go, we're looking for the front feet to move over. Here it comes, and over it goes, okay? So we have that step over that we're looking for. Once again, we're looking for that proper step, a step that's lateral, not backwards or forward, certainly not in our direction. So that is turn on the haunches with physical pressure. And remember, we're going to go through fist, knuckles, fingertips at the girth line with our left hand up beside the ear.